But wait, back to the Taylen. Sorry. All right,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, back to the Taylen Green.
Because I was going to say something that wasn't going to be good for anybody,
Right.
so go back to Taylen Green.
All right, but Taylen Green, back to that, what you said with Michael Vick and Matt Jones and all of that. I mean, not only in the comparisons and what you saw there, he's 6'6". He's 227. He's got 34-inch arms. He could obviously dunk and put the ball between his legs and do like NBA dunk contest stuff. The broad jump, I mean, he broke the system almost as far as what quarterbacks are expected. And let's just say this, there's stuff you can see on film, and you know I'm early, where I've only watched, like Taylen Green, I watched 30 plays last week just to get a feel. My dad had told me a little bit about him a few weeks ago. He said, watch this Taylen Green. He's like, his good is pretty good. And he wasn't wrong. There's some moments of Taylen Green where you go, wow, that's top notch. Now, it's not consistent, and that's the thing you heard Daniel Jeremiah talk about with his throwing and everything there as well. But as we know, in the age of all these quarterback gurus and people that can help you throw, and if these kids are willing to work and do that, and then you have this type of athletic ability behind it, woo, watch out. But that was an impressive performance, and certainly one that catapulted him into could he be one of the first 3 or 4 quarterbacks off the board now?
Well, that's the question. And I'm a big believer in putting your best 11 guys on the field no matter what. And when you show me a guy that is that size, that fast, that explosive, that dynamic, I'm finding a way to make him one of my best 11 guys. I want that talent on my team. And if he can throw, he doesn't have to be a quarterback full time. He can do all sorts of stuff. But see what you can do by way of developing the guy into a quarterback. It's the Bill Walsh thing. I think I said it last week as it related to one of the quarterback prospects, something Peter King always said. Bill Walsh's belief was that if a guy does something once, I can coach him to do it all the time.
Yes, right.
And if you get the right coach working with Taylen Green, maybe he becomes a franchise quarterback, a guy who, and it's not apples to apples, but, nobody, well, you did. Most people didn't know that Patrick Mahomes was going to be great. Why? Because for whatever reason, he didn't get the coaching. Sorry, Cliff Kingsbury, didn't get the coaching he needed to become that no-brainer, this is the guy, Heisman winner, national champion. He didn't have that. And once they get to the NFL, they get access to, if they land in the right spot, the kind of coaching that can turn them into much better players than they ever were. But this is a guy who's got the goods. The question is, can those goods be properly shaped and directed into something that will make the kind of difference that makes him one of the better players in the league?
Well, and you got to evaluate him for him. That's what happened with Mahomes, right? This is where these stupid phrases of, he's a winner, I'm going to draft him because he's a winner. I didn't know he did everything. Damn, last time I checked, like Tim Tebow was a winner, but there was 20 other All-Stars on the team. So was it him? Just him winning? I mean, come on. That's where we get into it. He was 4-7. We should put him back. He's not a winner. He can't win the Super Bowl. Well, the team matters, right? And then people look at stats, Mike, and this is how, I can remember this. He had a game against TCU his last year and that's how everybody kept saying to me, well, what about the TCU game? What about the TCU game? I'd go on radio. That's all I ever heard. And I'd go, yeah, I watched the TCU game. You could put Superman, you could put Peyton Manning in. Nobody was open. There's one thing to go, wait, the stats weren't good and people were open everywhere and he missed throws and he missed reads. But when you go, wait, I watched the game and nobody got more than an inch of separation and he was under pressure and nothing could happen and I don't care who you are, what do you want him to do? He's not Houdini. But people looked at that and went, oh, look at that. He's not a winner. He's at Texas Tech. And look at that game against TCU. He only threw for 175 yards. Well, that was all that was there to had. He took advantage of every yard that he could possibly get in that game. And that's where they misevaluate at times, especially about the quarterback. They draft the team, a.k.a. Tua. I'm drafting Alabama. Look at Tua. He's great with all these superstar linemen that are better than the other team and the receivers that are better than the other team. And my defense is better than the team. But it's Tua. What? Okay. Yeah, tell me how that worked out, Miami Dolphins. And that's where we get, bust at time, especially at the quarterback position.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.